Shri Matre Namaha everyone. I welcome you all to my channel Journey to Inner Light with Shri. Before I begin, I would like to bow down to the divinity within each of you and I also offer my humble prayers to my entire Guru Mandala and request them to please guide and lead me through this session. Today I want to reveal two hidden truths directly encoded into the Lalita Sahasranama. First, chanting these 11 names from the Lalita Sahasranama, names 212 to 222, carries a benefit equal to chanting all 11 Anuvakas of the Sri Rudram Namakam. Second, say the word Maha. Now hold it up to the mirror of your awareness. What do you see? Aham, I. And that Aham, rightly known, is Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. We will walk each name as a sacred triad, what the Anuvaka is doing, which Rudra form it opens, and how that same movement flowers as a Mahanama of Lalita. So your chanting will never again be just empty sounds, but will become a tool for your own conscious ascent. Let us begin. We begin where every true seeking begins, with awe. The first Anuvaka of the Namakam is the great opening of propitiation. The hymn turns towards Rudra, not with arrogance but with surrender. Weapons are laid down. The fierce Lord is invited as the protector. The devotee is brought face to face with a presence larger than the personal mind. The Rudra form here is Kapali, the skull-bearing Lord, the one who holds the mystery of life and death, time and transcendence. Through Kapali, the terrifying, auspicious Rudra reveals his immense cosmic form. That same movement flowers in Lalita as Maharupa, she who has a divine cosmic form, her cosmic body. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 1 opens the door of awe and appeasement. Kapali shows the cosmic Rudra form. Maharupa is that same vastness, now known as the mother's body of the entire universe. When you chant Maharupa, do not shrink her into a small picture on an altar alone. Let the mind soften. You are standing before vastness itself. Once vastness is seen, the next step is recognition everywhere. The second Anuvaka turns the gaze outward into creation, paths, directions, the living world. Rudra is no longer only there in one fierce moment of vision. He is woven through the entire fabric of nature and movement. The Rudra form is Pingala, the tawny, luminous one, the presence that moves through the pathways of the world and, in yogic language, through the living currents of your own body. Seeing Rudra everywhere naturally leads to universal worship. Everything becomes worthy of reverence. That flowers as Mahapujya, she who is worthy of universal worship. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 2 spreads sacred presence through nature and path. Pingala is that roaming luminous presence. Mahapujya is the mother who can be worshipped in all, because all is held in her. Today, let one ordinary thing become puja. A glass of water, a tree, a difficult person. Whisper inwardly, Mahapujya. Watch reverence return. Now the path goes into the shadows and heals them. The third Anuvaka approaches Rudra among the hidden, the feared, the outcast, the forces we usually push away. It is a profound Vedic courage. Nothing is outside the Lord's reach, not even what we call impure. The Rudra form is Bhima, the tremendous one, fierce enough to confront what the polite mind will not face. Rudra, as lord of thieves, outcasts, and hidden forces, destroys even the greatest sins and impurities. That same purifying fire flowers as Mahapatakanashini, she who destroys even the greatest sins, her power of purification. So, the mapping is this. Anuvaka 3 takes us into the hidden and the fallen. Bhima is the fierce purifier. Mahapatakanashini is the mother who burns deep karmic impurity, not by shaming you, but by grace. So today in your spiritual practice, bring one guilt you keep recycling. Do not analyze it endlessly. Offer it into her name, Mahapatakanashini. Let fire be mercy. Many seekers feel unworthy to chant. This name is the answer. Unworthiness is often the last impurity, and she dissolves that too. After purification, vision clears, and you begin to understand the play. The fourth Anuvaka deepens the many aspects and appearances of Rudra, the Lord who cannot be trapped in one color, one mood, one face. The Rudra form is Virupaksha, the odd-eyed, the many-eyed Lord, the one whose seeing is not ordinary seeing. The many-eyed Lord sees through the cosmic play. The universe is recognized as Shakti's divine Maya. That flowers as Mahamaya, she who is the great veiling power and also the great revelatory play. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 4 multiplies divine appearance. Virupaksha sees through every mask. Mahamaya is the mother as the cosmic play itself. What binds and what frees are both hers. When life feels like confusion, ask softly, is this only chaos or is Mahamaya inviting me to see? Discrimination becomes devotion here. Now, the hymn names the real beneath the play. The fifth Anuvaka is famous for the great cosmic names Bhava, Rudra, Sharva, Pashupati, and more. These are not decorations. They are windows onto the supreme reality underlying creation. The Rudra form is Vilohita, the reddened one, the passionate intensity of divine presence that burns through superficial identity and leaves essence. Through these great names, the pure underlying reality shines forth. That flowers as Mahasattva, she who is the great absolute reality, the great being. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 5 proclaims the great names of the Lord of all beings. Vilohita is the intensity that reveals the core essence. Mahasattva is the mother as pure reality itself. Sattva not as a mood but as the absolute truth. After chanting Mahasattva, sit 30 seconds in silence. Do not seek an experience. Rest as the one who is aware. That resting is her revealing. But reality is not static emptiness. It is alive with power. The sixth Anuvaka continues to show Rudra as the presence supporting movement through the worlds, the Lord in the currents of life, in rising and acting and sustaining. The Rudra form is Ajaikapada, the one-footed unborn, often contemplated as the cosmic pillar supporting all movement, stillness that holds motion, the axis of the cosmic dance. That stillness expresses as boundless divine energy and flowers as Mahashakti, she who is the great power, Shakti as the creative power. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 6 reveals the Lord as support of all living movement. Ajaikapada is the unborn pillar of the cosmos. Mahashakti is the infinite energy that pillar expresses. Before a difficult task, chant Mahashakti once, not to get energy from outside, but to remember the power that already upholds your breathing. Power without bliss becomes dry, so the path turns inward to delight. The seventh Anuvaka draws us toward deeper, more mysterious dimensions of Rudra's presence, the Lord who is not only in the outer world, but in the hidden depths. The Rudra form is Ahirbudnya, the serpent of the depths, the hidden one of the nether foundation. In the inner reading, this is profoundly linked with the Kundalini Shakti, the blissful awakening rising from the root of being. In the Lalita Sahasranama, that flowers as Maharati, she who is the great delight, her bliss nature. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 7 opens the deep, hidden dimension of the Lord. Ahirbudnya is the serpent of the depths. Maharati is the mother as divine delight. Kundalini not as a slogan, but as her bliss nature stirring. Chant Maharati with a soft spine and a soft belly. Let joy be allowed. In true Sri Vidya, seriousness and delight are not enemies. If your practice has now become only duty, this name is medicine. When bliss becomes lived grace, then experiences itself turn sacred. The eighth Anuvaka leans into the auspicious face of Rudra. the Lord who heals, nourishes, and grants welfare. The Rudra form is Shambhu, the bestower of happiness, the benign one. Shambhu bestows grace, nourishment, and auspicious enjoyment of divine experience. That flowers as Mahabhoga, she who is the great enjoyment, her enjoyment of creation. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 8 emphasizes welfare and auspiciousness. Shambhu is grace that nourishes. Mahabhoga is the mother in whom all experience can become sacred enjoyment. Bhoga not as bondage but as offering. So today eat one meal as Mahabhoga. Taste slowly. Offer the pleasure back to her. This is Tantra in daily life. Simple, clean, and awake. And then from sacred enjoyment, dignity rises, and inner lordship. The ninth Anuvaka carries the tone of order, governance, and right alignment. Rudra as the one who holds the law of things, who protects the rhythm of dharma in the cosmos. The Rudra form is Shasta, the ruler, the governor, the chastiser who corrects out of cosmic care. The governor of cosmic order corresponds to supreme sovereignty and lordship. In Lalita, that flowers as Maheshwarya, she who is the great sovereignty. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 9 aligns the devotee with cosmic order and protection. Shasta is divine governance. Maheshwarya is the mother as true wealth or Aishwarya, not ego's control, but a quiet mastery rooted in her. Today, reflect on where you are leaking power through complaints or people pleasing. Chant Maheshwarya and reclaim dignity without hardness, with a soft spine and an open heart. But sovereignty without courage is only a concept. Now the fierce protector rises in you. The 10th Anuvaka brings the intensity of protection from terror, hostility, and the forces that shrink the soul. It is Rudra as the shield and the storm. The Rudra form is Chanda, the fierce, the passionate, the terrible towards those who obstruct. The fierce protector manifests supreme spiritual heroism, courage, and transformative power. To mirror this, Lalita flowers as Mahavirya, she who is the great valor. This is her transformative force. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 10 arms the devotee with protective ferocity. Chanda is that fierce guardianship. Mahavirya is the mother as spiritual courage, the valor to let the old self dissolve. In your own life, name one transformation you have delayed out of fear. Today, offer that fear to Mahavirya. Courage is also a form of her grace. And now the hymn opens into totality. The 11th Anuvaka is the great gathering. Salutations to the Rudras in all directions, all realms, all beings. Not one Rudra only, the infinite host, the universe itself vibrating as that presence. The Rudra form here is contemplated as Bhava and as Sarva Rudra. All Rudras, the totality of that fierce, auspicious power sustaining existence. Infinite Rudras throughout the universe culminate in limitless cosmic strength. In Lalita, that flowers as Mahabala, she who is the great strength, her infinite strength. And here is something essential. The 11th Anuvaka reaches its natural culmination in Mahabala because all the countless Rudras derive their power from her alone. So the mapping is this. Anuvaka 11 universalizes Rudra in every direction. Sarva Rudra is infinite divine strength. Mahabala is the mother as the single source of all that strength. When you feel small, do not force confidence. Rest into Mahabala. But strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet refusal to abandon the path. If I were to say this in a poetic way, the many Rudras are like countless lamps. Mahabala is the oil. If this teaching is lighting something in you, please like this video and subscribe. It really helps this wisdom reach another seeker. Now, let us gather the staircase that we have walked up together. Takeaway 1. The equivalence. Because these 11 Mahanamas stand in living correspondence with the 11 Anuvakas of the Namakam and the 11 Rudra forms, the Ekadasha Rudras, chanting these 11 names from the Lalita Sahasranama is equal in benefit to chanting the 11 Anuvakas of the Sri Rudram Namakam. If your heart is drawn to the mother's names, you are not missing Rudra. If your heart is drawn to the Rudram, you are not missing Lalita. In this vision, the fierce Lord and the beautiful Mother are revealing one journey from appeasement to the supreme Shiva Shakti divine union of absolute non-duality. Takeaway 2. The mirror. Say the word Maha, the great. Now turn it around in the mirror of your own awareness. Maha becomes Aham, I. Not the small I of preference and fear and biography, the deep Aham that Upanishads point toward. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So every time you chant these Mahanamas, you are not only praising greatness somewhere far away, you are being walked back to the greatness of your own true self, non-separate from her. This progression drives your inner transformation toward non-duality. Even Mahabala opens into something still higher, Shiva Shaktyaikia Rupini, name 999, the penultimate name of the Lalita Sahasranama, where all 11 Rudras dissolve into the indivisible unity of Shiva and Shakti. Not two powers negotiating, one principle, one reality, Maha, Aham, Aham Brahmasmi. That is the Advaita fragrance hidden inside this ladder of names. So how do you carry this into life beginning today? Sit quietly, spine easy, heart soft. Chant these 11 from Maharupa through Mahabala slowly. After each name, one full breath. On the inhale, remember the Anuvaka movement of that step. On the exhale, rest into the Lalita name. If the mind is steady, add the Rudra form silently in the middle like a bridge. Anuvaka, Rudra, Lalita. And as you say Maha, gently remember the mirror, Aham. Not as pride, as recognition, as a soft return to the truth that the divinity you are seeking is already within you. If you already chant Sri Rudram, try this once. After a Namakam recitation, sit and offer these 11 names as the inner flowering of what you just invoked. Feel how Rudra and Lalita complete each other in your own awareness. That is enough. Simple and sincere. That was it for today. I hope you learned a new perspective which will help you in your own journey to inner light. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe for more. Love and light, Shri.